Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our technical English lesson for grade 11. This lesson is our second lesson in Review Unit A. Review 2 is on pages 17 and 18 of your course books. Let's look at the objectives. In today's lesson, we will revise and practice using by followed by verb with ing to explain the method of doing something. And we will revise and practice using the present simple in context. First, let's revise some words we will use in the lesson. Manage, supervise, report to, inspect, maintain, and the last one, repair. Some of these words may have more than one meaning. We will discuss the meaning that is relevant to us. You can check the other meanings in your dictionary. Manage. Manage means to oversee a business, an organization, or something similar, or to run a business or an organization. That is, to be in charge. For example, their elder son manages the firm. This means that he is in charge of the firm. He is the manager of the firm. Our school manager is in charge of our school. Our next word is supervise. Supervise means to be in charge of a person or group of people and to check that they are behaving or working correctly. For example, the crane operator supervises the assistant crane operator. Our next word is report to. Report to means to be in a position directly below someone who supervises one's work. For example, the assistant crane operator reports to the crane operator. Now, look at these two sentences. The crane operator supervises the assistant crane operator. The assistant crane operator reports to the crane operator. This means that the superior supervises the junior, and the junior reports to the superior. Our next word is inspect. Inspect means to look at something carefully in order to find out more about it or to find out what is wrong with it. For example, I got out of the car to inspect the damage. Then we have maintain. Maintain means to keep a road, machine, a building, or similar things in good condition. For example, the chief mechanic maintains the machines on the rig. And our last word, repair, means to fix something that is damaged, broken, or not working properly. For example, I really must get my bike repaired this weekend. Moving on, by plus verb with ing. Let's read these sentences and notice the verbs in red. The passenger activates the ticket machine by touching the screen. You activate the accelerator on a motorbike by rotating the handle. The user activates the voice-operated machine by speaking to it. All the sentences Explain methods of doing something. In each sentence, we have by followed by verb with ing to explain the method. So we use by followed by verb with ing to explain methods of doing something. Now let's do our first task. Open your course books to page 17. We are going to do exercise 4. Complete these statements with the words in the box. We have 6 statements and 12 words, and each statement has 2 gaps. So we are going to use 2 words to complete each statement, just like we have here in number 1. Number 1 is already done. So we're going to go over it together, and you will pause the video and complete the rest. Now, the driver shields. Now, you will notice that S is added here. This is because the subject is singular. So if the subject is singular, you add S to the verb. But if the subject is plural, you don't add S to the verb. So the driver shields his eyes from dust by looking. Now here, by looking is explaining the method. So by followed by verb with ing, just like we've seen in the last slide, through the visor on his helmet. So now pause the video and try to complete the rest. Now let's check our answers. But first, to make it easier, it's better we cross out the words we've used. So we will cross out shield and look. So the fuel guy, now this one is singular, so the verb will have an S with it. We will add S to the verb. And the fuel guy space the 40 kg fuel hose to the car by. So the verb here must have ing. So we must add ing to the verb. It on his shoulders. So this one is brings. We cross out bring, and carrying. We cross out carry. So number 3 we have raise. Putting. Number 4, the wheel guys. So this one, the subject is plural, so we don't need to add S to the verb. So we have keep the new tires warm by covering them with electric blankets. Number 5, the mechanics. This is also plural. Protect themselves from fire, so we cross out protect from fire by wearing fire suits. And the last one, the driver, this is singular, so we have only these two when we cross out wear, and we have the driver opens, we cross out open the fuel flap on his car by pressing a button in the cockpit. Moving on to our next objective. Now, read the sentences and notice the verbs in red. Then match them with the uses of the present simple A to C. Now, we have Ahmed goes home to Norway every 4 weeks. Number 2, the chief electrician supervises a team of 4 electricians. Number 3, the water flows from the tank into the solar water panel. Now, the present simple is used for job description for processes, for routine events. So now, which one is for job description? It is 2. For processes is 3. And the last one for routine event, that's habit, is number 1. So we can use the present simple for job descriptions, for processes, and for routine events. Now let's look at the structure of the present simple. He plays football. They play football. These are positive sentences. Let's look at the negative. He doesn't play football. They don't play football. Now, the positive form, he, she, it, plus verb with s, es, or ies, just like we have here. He plays football. And I, you, we have you here because we can have you in singular or plural, and they goes with the base form of the verb without adding s to it. And for the negative, you have he, she, it, plus does not, doesn't, which is the same thing as does not, plus the base form of the verb. And we have I, you, we, they, plus don't, which is the short form of do not, plus the base form of the verb. Now, still on page 17, we're going to do exercise 5. We have an organizational chart. Our task is to describe the organization in this department. Use the words in the box: manage, report to, supervise, and work for. This is job description. And remember, we said the present simple is used for job description. Now, let's look at the sample answer. Look at the crane operator here. He supervises and reports to here. He supervises the person below him or the people below him and reports to the person above him. So we have the crane operator supervises the assistant crane operator. So he supervises this. He reports to the operation manager. Okay, we can also have the electrician and the mechanic. Electrician and the mechanic report to the maintenance manager. So we have report to without s because we have plural. The electrician and the mechanic, they report to maintenance manager. He's their superior. We can also have the part-time repairman reports to the mechanic. This is the part-time repairman. He reports to mechanic. You can write as many sentences as possible to describe the organization in the department. Now let's go to page 18 of the course book. This is our final task in this lesson, and we have complete this job description with the words in the box. Job description means present simple, easy. Now, job description of the chief mechanic on the Nord Oil platform. So, one thing you should know is that describing a chief mechanic's job, so the subject is singular, so which means that the verbs must have an s with them. You must add s to the verbs, like what we have here. The first one, the chief mechanic is responsible for maintaining all the mechanical equipment on the oil rig. He or she repairs. So it's good to cancel this, repair. So pause the video and try to complete the task. Remember, the subject is singular, so you must add s to each verb. Now, let's check our answers. Number 2 is maintains, and maintains every machine on the rig. He or she checks all the equipment daily. Cross out check and make sure that all machines are in good working order. He or she, so we cross out make. He or she, so we have just few options here, inspects broken equipment. So inspect and orders replacement parts and new tools. Cross out order. Most of the time he or she works outside or on deck, so we cross out work here. The chief mechanic reports. So now, why do we put reports instead of supervise? Very good, because we have 2 here. Excellent. So to the rig maintenance manager and supervises a small crew of 2 assistant mechanics, 2 assistant mechanics and 2 motormen. He or she normally has, because it's the subject is singular, so it has. He or she normally has a 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off schedule. Great. Now let's wrap up the lesson. We have revised and practiced using by plus verb with ing to explain the method of doing something. For example, the passenger activates the ticket machine by touching the screen. We have also revised and practiced using the present simple in context. So we can use the present simple for job descriptions, for processes, and for routine events. I want you to check more uses of the present simple. This is the end of our lesson. Thank you for watching, and I hope you will be with me in our next class. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.